Sorry.
Welcome to Overdrive AF, the official podcast of Overdrive Fitness. I'm Teddy Gerzon, and I'm joined by Gina Marie Gerzon.
Happy Saturday, everybody, I guess.
Yeah. The last Saturday in January. And as always with us, Destroyer.
What's up?
And as you can see, for those of you that are tuning in visually, on the tubes of you, there is Titan and Brajol in their new dog beds.
Yeah, peep those new beds. There we go.
They are super comfy. I tested them out myself.
Orthopedic.
Coming to you hot from downtown Orangeburg at Overdrive Fitness.
7 weeks to spring.
Yes. Is it really? I wish it would come faster.
Right? March 21st? March.
Hopefully.
Right?
Whatever. I want it to be here now.
I know. Yeah, we've had some cold weather.
Yeah. To borrow some Nanuet terms, it's been brick all week.
Seriously.
Has it been brick or tight brick? Or mad brick?
Mad brick.
Mad brick?
I'd say mad brick for the past couple days. If we were being real meteorologists about it.
Once they modernize it, it'll be brick AF.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brick
seriously.
titties.
Like, big
Brick
time.
titties, yes. That one hasn't been used in a while.
Yeah.
It's brick titties out.
If we're using official scientific terms, then yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up.
What's up?
I thought it was about 7 weeks to spring. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we're wishing and praying and hoping.
We want
for
it to come
That's why-
faster.
We'll hope.
What it?
Also from a business standpoint, because it's operationally, it's easier to run the place when it's warmer out because we can move stuff outside.
Yeah, Saturday, March 20th. I was a day off. I'm sorry.
You're fired.
Apologize.
You're fired.
I said the 21st of March 20th.
We want it now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, because then I said that to everybody too. I'm like, you know what that means, guys? Prowlers, sleds, heavy sled work, farmers carries, battle ropes, sprints. Everyone's like, what?
Jacked
What?
and tan, baby. So yeah.
Tanks and thongs, like Jerry.
Tanks and thongs. Gotta get, tanks and thongs for our registered flex offenders.
Seriously. Yup. I'm ready for that shirt.
I saw something on Twitter yesterday saying like, and this is real, but there is a woman that she tells all her clients. I don't know, she's not a nutritionist, or maybe she is, but she's obviously crazy, regardless, right? And she's like super vegan, I believe, and like all this other shit, right? But she goes, avoid nuts because that's what bears eat before they hibernate, and obviously that if they're doing that, it's to slow down their metabolism, so nuts will make you fat. And it's like, well then, according to that logic, eating too much honey makes you a pantsless pervert that shouldn't be around children, i.e. Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
You know?
But for a vegan, especially raw too,
Stop using real logic.
where are you
Honey
getting?
makes you a pervert.
I'm just saying.
Right?
Where are
It's
you getting your
hypothetical.
amino acids from if you're not combining nuts and seeds and if you're vegan and maybe some sort of a sprouted grain or you're gonna need your beans, legumes, like you need to combine those foods to create that complete entity to allow your body to function properly.
I say we take a minute to use
just
this
saying.
logic to apply towards things that can actually improve our lives. For instance, if I eat more mushrooms, do I become a Mexican-Italian plumber that can then jump
Yeah.
super
Yeah,
high,
your vertical
Oh!
goes insane.
and defeat
Ba-dum,
dragons,
ba-dum,
Yeah.
bum,
right?
bum, bum,
Absolutely.
bum.
What else can we use that for?
Would you be Mario or Luigi?
Spinach.
There you go. I look better in red.
Fair enough.
And he has darker hair anyway, so there you go. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like the white and the green.
No, you're my peach.
Oh, I'm a princess.
Yeah. And,
But they don't do anything. The princess doesn't do anything. She just. Oh.
yeah, because you're my housewife. I'm the alpha male, and I bop you over
I
the
like-
head, bring you home, and you.
Leaping tall buildings and jumping down fireplaces and stuff.
I think Princess.
Chimneys, excuse me.
But isn't she in the? She's in Mario Kart also, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know many people that use her when they play.
To each
Oh, I've never.
Speaking of
No.
which, that's been a topic of conversation in our early morning classes in the past couple weeks because, you know, some of the men want to buy Nintendo Switches for home. And, you know, the beauty of a Nintendo Switch is you can bring it with you.
Right.
Which is why I never bought one. When it came down to buying PS4 or a Switch, I went with the PS4.
That separation.
Yeah, like I can't bring it with me. So I was like...
Where do you bring it?
Yeah.
What, the Switch?
can
Well,
bring it
you don't
anywhere.
remember the times when Kelly would bring it here? And
Oh, yeah, of course.
yeah. And I would then...
Go to somebody's house and
Yeah.
I,
sit on the couch and
I
play.
would pawn off my responsibility of training athletes for that hour to play video games with Kelly on the couch.
He loved it.
Oh, yeah. Because he would beat me. Jackass. But yeah. All right, update on your transformation. How's it
Yeah.
going?
Good week, or the weigh-in at least went well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that this week went well as well. But the last weigh-in, I went down a little bit in percent body fat, and I think it was up like a full 1.5 pounds of lean muscle.
I'll pull yours up right
so
now.
that's,
ahead.
I think it was like I finally got the heavier weights last week, so the muscle increase was substantial rather than the incremental stuff I've been doing prior. So
Nice.
Think
So
about
you got your
that.
100-pound dumbbells in.
yeah,
Sweet.
yeah,
He is.
yeah,
Yeah, Desi actually weighing in the heaviest he's ever been
yeah,
and the leanest he's ever been.
yeah. That was very disorienting, but exciting.
So,
Sup?
Because I had, like, over the summer when I was running like 32 miles a week,
Mm-hmm.
I was still like, I weighed less than I do now, but I had like more, like a higher percent body fat.
Mm-hmm.
And now I weigh like 3 or 4 pounds heavier, but I have substantially less body fat.
and your lean mass has gone up 6 pounds
Yeah,
since November 30th. And your last weigh-in was January 25th.
yeah,
So you're literally 6 pounds. Lean mass has gone up 6 pounds,
yeah,
right?
not bad.
Body fat percentage has gone down like almost 4%, full 4%.
Yeah. I took progress pictures the other day and like
Fat
impressed
mess.
myself.
See?
I'm like 2 weeks away from being like Brad Pitt
Fat
in
mess.
Fight Club, I think.
I know. What happened?
Fat mess.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, your fat mass, look, it's gone down 5.4%.
Pounds.
5.4 pounds. I
Almost
apologize.
5
Excuse
pounds
me.
of fat.
Yeah.
What's
But
up?
do you see the exchange? It's
Yeah,
like amazing
it's
how
crazy.
shit happens. And just by...
And how like not
Language.
particularly difficult it was. as
You
well.
like when I talk like that. The listeners like it, damn it.
Say what
And
again?
it also was surprisingly like not the most difficult transition in the world. It's just
Right?
a bit more meat, some protein shakes.
Yeah. I mean, just getting in
more
your
food
protein.
and more
Still getting your
more
pizza
lifting.
in.
That's true. This Monday after my
What are you doing, Teddy?
I'll bring it up in a second.
Okay.
This Monday after my best weigh-in yet, I did do my very first cheat meal.
Good for you.
So,
Good
and it
for
felt it was
you.
very guilt-free because I knew
Good.
that was a good weigh-in,
Excellent.
and I went for it.
You know, your body always needs to kind of have that feedback. So
Hmm.
when we know, or when we can look forward to, like, every certain amount of days, that we can almost kind of look forward to that surplus of calories when we're working so hard and it's showing,
Yeah.
not just physically and in the mirror. And then when we get on the scale and we take the measurements and stuff, it's really gratifying because not only are you feeling great in your workouts and your runs, it's giving you the feedback.
Yeah.
The mirror is giving you the feedback. Your clothes are giving you the feedback. And your sleep and everything else.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a win-win.
yeah. And then you feel that much better, like eating the thing that you've been waiting to eat.
And there's a way to do it. You know, there's a way to kind of almost program things without even really programming it. But if you maintain that structure, the structure is really what's going to drive you and keep you sane, allow you to continue to be successful. And everybody's body is different. So sometimes, you guys might need that mental break. I just really feel like having an ice cream sundae, or I really feel like having a double cheese pizza, or whatever that is, or a juicy bacon cheeseburger, or whatever the case. But everything else, when everything else continues to fall into play, and you're getting your vegetables in and your fruits in, and you're getting your portions of everything in, and everything else is kind of working in conjunction with the plan, you're always successful.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. And I mean,
You got me thinking of having pizza tonight.
okay, well, we
I
were
might
talking
even
about
do
pizza
it.
before.
I might do it for lunch
I
actually.
went with an ice cream.
Pizza?
A substantial an ice cream
Oh,
pizza.
so good. So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Very worth it. And the new goal, I think, is to be able to peck pop. I'm getting
Oh.
there, but I want to be able to
That could be a video, how to peck pop.
lessons on peck pop.
There you go.
Oh yeah. I still have to shoot my
But-
video on how to create a cut-off T-shirt.
Oh, that's important.
Because
Okay.
remember how many male athletes have asked the past couple of years? They're like I know how to make a sleeveless shirt, but how do I cut it like your muscle tees? And I was like, bro, it's a specific measurement
That was a
from the
serious
collar.
question. And I think,
We'll have to get that in soon.
with all this good stuff happening with Desi too, and it's only been from November 30th to January
Yeah.
25th,
2 months.
2 months, that he's gonna need some tutorials on that too.
Yeah.
I might even make some donations.
Because I really feel like Desi's gonna be the
Yeah.
showing off the guns this summer.
Hell yeah.
And those summer runs, the sweaty summer runs, the ladies are just gonna be like, oh, oh.
Creating traffic jams.
Who is that?
Time call pile-ups across Nanuet and Pearl River.
Goals.
I'm ready.
As a man and loose with firearms. Just destroyer running his marathon.
Well, firearms.
Yeah. Boom.
Certified flex offender. Or registered flex offender, sorry.
So yeah, I was taking a picture. Oh, actually no. Before I even move on to that, did you get any jump shots up this week in this brick titty weather and
I don't know.
mileage?
I was going to try to get some shots up early in the week, but it was brick, as we were saying,
God.
and just my hands
I think the wind
do it.
was
And the wind as
worse
well, yeah.
than the actual cold.
Yeah. And then it snowed,
Mhm.
and the whole driveway is just like ice right now. So, unfortunately, not a lot of room for that. But mileage, I did a run every day except yesterday. So I think it was 18 or 20 miles this
Mhm.
week.
This is great.
So,
Yeah,
not bad.
really great.
I wanna prepare myself for when it finally does get warm and I can start running every day.
Mm-hmm. Even getting maybe some sprint work in too.
Yeah.
Tempo runs.
Yeah, some hills maybe.
There we go.
We're thinking ahead. We're
Yeah.
thinking ahead.
So yeah, I took a picture because I don't know if Destroyer's trying to be subtle with his shirt today, in honor of the current events going on, but
Oh yes, please
the
do
NASA
explain.
the NASA shirt, a bunch of rocket emojis are jumping off that shirt. Are you a big fan of Wall Street bets right now? Fucking the system, totally giving it back to the hedge funds.
Look, man, I think that stuff is hilarious.
It is. It's very funny.
It sucks that the system is able to be gamed like that, and it's that arbitrary.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that this is happening is fucking funny.
It's funny because it's a bunch of amateurs
Yeah.
that figured it out, and the guys at the top are mad because
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
we've been exposed.
They try to bury it in all this difficult, weird language, shorting and whatever.
Yeah.
But once someone explains it to you, it's oh, okay. Well, this is really easy to fuck up. And
Yeah.
those guys on Reddit just took the 20 minutes to read what this shit meant
Mhm.
and just completely. I think they shut down a hedge fund.
Yeah.
The hedge fund that was shorting GameStop.
Oh my god.
Was
Like,
it
actually
was it
closed.
Melvin or was it Point72? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But like one of them actually,
One of them closed.
Steve Cohen was involved in one of them, the new owner of the Mets, and he's been attacked so much on Twitter. He actually just deleted his Twitter account. Yeah, Dave Portnoy actually got him to delete his Twitter account. He just couldn't take the heat anymore. But it's either that or he like temporarily deleted it because he's like, some people are like, well, maybe he's about to make a very controversial Mets signing. So, so it's just like, I don't know, ridiculous.
No, it's probably that he just.
But
got
it is
embarrassed.
horseshit though that like, these hedge funds, they're allowed to play that game.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
like-
it's really fucked up.
It's like we're the only
forbid-
ones that
yeah.
are allowed to make
Yeah,
money.
it's like, okay, now that like poor people are getting money, this is like weird and not right.
Yeah, right.
Especially with
It's a
in
free
this
market.
economy.
Yeah.
And people need to.
Yeah, and then the whole Robin Hood thing, where they were like, we're just shutting this stock down.
Yeah.
Like you can't buy or sell.
Yeah, you couldn't buy AMC, GameStop, or Nokia for a day
Yeah.
because,
And
God
they've never
forbid,
done
someone
it
made
before,
money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
God forbid that the people that they made the app for actually use it to make a substantial amount of money. That's
Did you
insane.
hear why they
God.
did that too? So Robinhood, I found out, they sell the user data to hedge funds. So the hedge funds then take that data, which is based on, they track the behaviors of all its users,
Mhm.
and the hedge funds then create algorithms based on, I'm a Robinhood user, based on
Right.
our behaviors, and they hedge that against the market. They're like, well, if this was what the people at the bottom are doing, we should really double down on that.
Right.
And like, so like we're doing their work.
Are you still going to use it after all this?
Probably not, like another week or two, and I'm pulling all my money out and I'm putting it into something else.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. It's funny because like 4 years ago, they tweeted out. They said, "This is for the people."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called Robin Hood.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like, hey, you on the smaller end of things, like, get your money
Yeah,
in this, like, user-friendly, like, fun way.
but only so much.
Yeah. But not all your money.
Make some money, but
Yeah.
don't get rich.
Play the stock market game in high school, but don't, like, take it further.
I love the balls of some of these Wall Street bets, dude. So like one kid, his parents were at work, so he called the bank and took out a mortgage on the house, like a second
Yeah.
mortgage on the house,
Oh my god.
leveraged that into these stocks,
Yeah.
and made like fucking, what did he make? He made like a couple $100,000,
Yeah.
like that.
To me, it's
Wow.
just, like, I just keep thinking of, like, all the funny, like, the mindsets of, like, the different people involved. Like, imagine if you already had some stock in GameStop
Yeah.
and you don't have Reddit, and then, like, all of a sudden you're, like, checking your
Mhm.
accounts, and it's just, like, what was it, like, $9,500 a share at some point? I think I saw.
GameStop?
Yeah.
It went from $6 a share like a year ago to
Yeah.
it's hovering around 400, like 375,
Right.
400 right now.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like
the
some
fuck?
insane
But like, it's
shit.
also, it's also
And
messed
then,
up,
like,
Robin.
the GameStop, like, management that's just, like, sitting on, like,
Like it's good and
ton of
bad. Like it's
money.
good that it exposes the system, but it's bad for the companies
right.
that whose their stocks are being manipulated because, I mean, it's just. For instance, the GameStop in Northvale is closing.
Right.
I mean, it was on the verge of closing anyway, but like
Yeah.
this doesn't help it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, you understand why these hedge funds were shorting it.
Yeah.
Because it was already on the way down. Like,
Mhm.
that's the funniest thing to me is that, like, these guys were just making, like, a very lateral move. They're
Mhm.
like, GameStop stock is going down. It's spiking right now because of the pandemic, but, like, 5 years from now, it'll be, like, way down, so we'll make a fuck ton of money.
Mhm.
And then some, like, random guys that are like, I loved GameStop as a kid. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Just, like, completely destroyed their whole
Mhm.
shit.
They're like, oh, you want to ruin something for us? Well, we're gonna ruin this for you.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny they trap these hedge funds into doing it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
It's how it should be, and the fact that people are trying to make it not happen
Mhm.
is really messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you're seeing, like the fact that Dave Portnoy and, like, AOC are, like, agreeing
And Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like, we need to take these guys down. And I'm like,
It's very indicative.
I'm looking at Twitter. I'm like, so this is what it took to unify the whole world.
Yeah. GameStop. Yeah.
It's like, well, why couldn't this happen sooner?
That's what surprised me too, is if it's that easy, like what prevented this from happening like 5-10 years ago?
I think it took a lockdown to figure it out.
Yeah,
People have so much time on their hands. They're like, let me go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, very well could be the case.
But first, it's like it's social media censorship. It's like everyone's like, that's messed up. Then other people are like, I don't know, like you can make an argument for it. Now it's just like, our money's being manipulated.
Yeah.
Let's all get behind this.
Let me see how many idiots I can, like, mess with, and how much money. That is basically like, look at what happens with all these. Coconut MCT oil is the magic fat, or lose 30 pounds in 30 days, or it's that kind of shit too. Where it's like, let me see how many people I can like brainwash, or whatever people buy into it. They make a false claim that's too good to be true, pretty much, and right, and then all of a sudden it backfires on the people who jump into it, but then the ones who make the claim end up making money because, right?
Yeah. It's all just hypothetical stuff that you're putting real money into. It's scary.
It's scary.
But yeah, so was that intentional? The shirt?
No, this is just like.
It's funny how it worked out, though, right?
It is, yeah.
Maybe like subconsciously. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah, that's my move.
Sorry.
I think this is maybe more me like hinting at like the realness of like the Jewish space laser. This is me endorsing that idea. If there's anyone that should have a space laser, it's Jewish people.
Yeah.
They've earned it at this point.
I think they've dealt with enough.
Yeah.
Let them have their laser.
Give them one space laser.
And I mean, if anybody's capable of operating it, I think it is the Jewish people. Like, I mean, look at what do they call it? The Steel Dome in Israel or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like when so basically, if people try firing missiles on Israel has this defense system that like all of a sudden they'll detect a missile coming in like towards their borders, and then it's like it's almost like a smoke screen, but like it's like a counter movement too. Like the missiles coming in where it'll just like these other things will come in and fire at it and explode the missiles as it approaches the border. So that's why they call it the Steel Dome, because it's like not really there. It's like it's not like they live in a bubble, but their defense system is just like, oh, something's coming in, shoot it down. So it's
Put
like,
up
you
the
know
force
what?
field.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's basically a force field without any physical force field there.
Like all those Trekkies out there, like my dad used to watch all the time. And subject us every night at dinner before my mom would get home. All right, and all of a sudden he had the controller, and we're watching Star Trek again. Put up the force field, right, or whatever.
I can't stand that show.
Oh, Star Trek or Star Wars.
But I will take it
I
over
don't know.
Star Wars, though.
It's like
That's
that.
bold.
I'm a man of logic.
Fair enough.
I had friends that were diehard. They were dieharders. Yeah.
I'll go on the record for saying it too. I think Star Wars is horseshit. I think that it's unrealistic to basically say that ISIS can take over the universe. In a sense, it's that they're completely undermanned and underarmed, but all of a sudden they have the force that can take over the universe.
I think
Not
people
fucking
like to
buying it.
dress
Not
up
buying
in
it.
costumes and not be themselves too. It's like just
At least
Getting-
Star Trek, there's logic. Like, the human race is going to organize into several groups and create academies of, like, air, land, and sea. Just like you would with the Navy and the Air Force and
I don't know. I never got that
Army.
deep into it. I just watched the movies.
calling horseshit. I know I'm pissing off a lot of people in this, but that's where I stand.
Well, I know you're ready to rant,
Yeah,
so
it's a rant.
I think we are already ranting, right?
I think
Yeah.
you're ready.
Built up the energy.
Fired it up.
I guess it all kind of started because I deleted Facebook and Instagram from my phone. and like the only thing I have left is Snapchat and Twitter, and I don't give a fuck about Snapchat. Like, I don't care. I only check it if someone sends me something.
Snapchat gives a fuck about Snapchat.
Yeah. Well, actually, I take that back. I do give a fuck about Snapchat because I did buy a couple shares in Robinhood when it was really low, and then all of a sudden it just like blew up, and I was like,
hop on Reddit and get them to.
yeah, right, pump it up even more. But no, and it's a combination of Twitter and just real life as a collegiate strength coach, and I'm tired of seeing all these. I've been tired of it, seeing all these unnecessary fitness tests for college athletes, right? But on top of that, I mean, it's even more necessary now coming out of these quarantines and lockdowns, and shortened seasons, where, you know, kids were supposed to have gone back to college and like maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago in a normal circumstance.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, maybe, but like now they're not starting. Some schools aren't starting till February 1st.
Yeah.
So, and then their sports season is starting March 1st, and they're allowed to start practicing February 15th. So you have a 2-week prep period to get these kids ready. Some of them haven't had full access to gyms or get the types of workouts they would normally in the winter, let alone the workouts and the practices they should have had in the fall to get them ready for spring sports. And then, so it's like, first of all, asking a softball player to run a 6 to 6.5 minute mile, there's no fucking benefit in that. So it's like you're taking women that don't, like, their sport doesn't require them to be very good at the mile, but because they're in fear of losing playing time or even making the team when they get back, if they don't pass the mile, they're now going to shift most of their off-season work into running this bullshit fucking mile under a certain time, instead of, I don't know, getting better at maybe fielding, throwing, and hitting and pitching.
Which you need to be.
Yeah, you need
powerful and explosive.
Exactly, but like,
right?
Why, if your sport is softball, if your sport's lacrosse, why not focus more things on that in the short amount of time that you're given, as opposed to things that have no fucking effect, no positive effect on what your sport is. It's like, Desi, you want to train for a marathon.
Right.
Sweet. Bench press every day.
Bench press 350.
Yeah. And if you can't do it, spend the
Max
entire
out
day
every
figuring
week.
it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like that, it just takes away from your purpose. It takes away from what's appropriate and the goal at hand.
Yeah, I think people
know?
like to assume that these like generic things are just like applicable to every sport.
And it's fucking lazy.
Yeah.
It's lazy. Like, so many coaches will have, like, for baseball, they'll have their fucking baseball players run foul poles all day. You know, and if you don't know what a foul pole, what I'm talking about, like, running poles is, you're running in the warning track, so you're going from the left field foul pole to right field foul pole, down and back, however many times. So obviously the distance varies from field to field because every field is different. But it's, coaches will put shit in there and they'll say it's like, oh, it's for conditioning. But like, it's let's be real. Most of them put them in there because it eats up time in practice, and they have no other idea what to do with that time as far as being productive. Just like running gassers all day in fucking football, or running 300s in, you know, lacrosse and soccer. You know, there's so much more productive things you can do with your athletes. And don't fucking make your athletes, don't subject them to this shit and then complain that they have shin splints or they're getting hurt or they're breaking down mentally during the season when you're just not being smart enough with your time. Like, that's on the coaching staff. I'm going to be dead honest. Like, I've seen many practice plans that don't need to be 3 hours. You could get a lot done in 90 minutes.
Or they're being thrown around on the field or knocked down, or they can't handle their opponent because they're not strong, they're not resilient, they're not durable. They're flimsy, they're frail. Right?
Yes. This is a time where things need to get simpler. I mean, the window to get in shape has shrunk, and you only have so many practice times available now, so things need to be like, as far as game plans, they should be simpler. All the complex things need to go out the window, unless of course you can actually handle it. Your team can handle it. Things need to be focused more on execution, efficiency, and precision. So, I mean, hey, if you want to deal with shin splints, yeah, fine. Have your lacrosse team run suicides in the gym all day, and then wonder why that they're dying 2 weeks into the shortened season. But no, it's just it's ridiculous. It really is. Just like I've dealt with in the fall, people are like, I'm like, all right, just to get a feeler out, what do you want to do with your athletes? Like, I want them to move very heavy weight, really fast in a short amount of time. So like nonstop for 30 minutes. I'm like, but you guys haven't done anything in 6 months. What the hell? That's just like, and then expecting them to do well. That's like me pumping out. That's like us pumping out a child and me being like, well, the kid's half Asian, so at 3 years old, I want them to master fucking calculus because it's in his fucking blood. And if they don't, they're a fucking failure.
And they should know how to make pasta.
Yeah, and at the same time, well, I mean, that's perfect. Asians and Italians, right? Marco fucking Polo. Con artist. He stole that shit from us.
Okay, here we go.
But I digress.
Oh. And to make rice, they need this much water.
This much.
This much.
To that knuckle.
I don't know. I'm Macy Gray. I don't know. I thought she needed a bathroom break, but now she's at the door again.
Yeah, she was being pretty vocal.
But she's sitting there, so I don't know.
Maybe she wants some vitamin D.
I don't know what she wants to do, but yeah.
Yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Stop with the fucking dumb fitness test. Stop with these like ridiculous 300 times. Like,
actually program your athletes appropriately, and if you don't know how to do it, reach out to somebody who does, or a facility who actually knows their shit and knows what to do with their athletes, because we have a great track record.
Like I'm starting to see a lot more, not only just like in college athletes, but I mean it's more alarming to me in college athletes, but it's high school athletes too. There's so much of an emphasis on some bullshit long distance running, and not enough emphasis on actual sports skills. So like one of the things I'm starting to see is like a lack of the ability for hip internal external rotation, like a lot of tight hips, right? And I don't know how you expect to shoot hard in lacrosse or swing a bat fast and hard or throw anything that requires any type of torque on your body, any type of rotational force, when your hips are fucking tight. Like, it's impossible. You just can't do it, right? Let alone, not only hard, but you can't be accurate if you can't rotate through your hips, okay? How do you expect anybody to get better at that when you're forcing them to focus on running 12 miles a fucking day, or like run a 6-minute mile for a sport that doesn't fucking require it?
Or
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, or not want to watch your team warm up because it's boring to you as a coach, when that's really where you're going to see what's going on with people's movement, with your athletes' movement, is if their hips are tight, or their feet and their ankles, or I don't know, just their movement patterns. Those basic movement patterns, those foundational movement patterns are shown even in the warm-up.
Yeah, have a more productive warm-up. If it's boring, then it's probably not productive.
And if it's boring for you,
then make something more exciting, so it's worth your time.
And at the end of the day, you should be there at the warm-ups. You should be guiding them. And if you can't handle them yourself, then that's a problem too.
But let's have to give you a solution to the problem, right? So let's look at the day and age that we're in. Like, technology is used for literally everything. Everyone has a fucking camera attached to the interwebs in their pocket. Okay, so if you want your athletes to become better athletes, there's something as simple as, like, if they play lacrosse, instead of having them run fucking 300s all the fucking time, or 110s even, or whatever you fucking have that makes no sense to me, like, that you're doing an abundance of, at least, that makes no sense to me. Have them fucking send you videos of them making sure they get all their wall ball in. If the reason why you guys are losing games because of turnovers is the inability to fucking move a ball efficiently around the field, right? If, you know, let's say for soccer or whatever, right? Let's say your team's failures usually lie in poor ball handling. Make your fucking teammate, your players, send you video of them constantly working on their dribbling. Like, instead of waiting till the first day of practice, we're like, well, clearly so-and-so didn't work on this in the off-season. Fucking make them do it. It requires no time to just tell your athletes, like, fucking do this, send me the video so I know you did it, and that's it. It'd be a lot more productive than somebody running like 12 miles a fucking day and not being able to shoot a fucking lacrosse ball.
So stupid.
Deep breath.
Well, they should be well-rounded. Yay, so they can run 3 miles. Okay. Or they can, so, but where is their power? Where is their, it's like, even a lacrosse athlete, or even field hockey, or even soccer, or those athletes should still be able to take some trauma to their body, in a sense. They should be able to hold their own, right? They should be able to launch the ball. They should be able to, kick it to the teammate without an issue. They shouldn't look frail and like they can't handle themselves. They should be able to maneuver in and out. They should be powerful on the field. They should still, regardless of the type of athlete that they are.
So, that's all I have to say about that. Fucking stop with the ridiculous fitness tests and replace it. If you want anything to gauge how well prepared your athletes are, replace it with actual sports skills.
Because at the end of the day, when they're injured and they haven't done the strength work, then...
But it's even aside from strength work. Like, don't complain about your team sucking at throwing, catching, passing, dribbling, when you're not enforcing them enough to work on these skills.
And when all you're having them do is run a ton, and they can't even play because they're injured, because they have shin splints and everything else.
So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. What else do we have to add? Oh, shout out Sophia Janetta for the sweet wristband. Thank you.
Yes, I got it first.
Gina got hers first.
I got mine first.
What else?
Yeah.
Super Bowl next Sunday.
Play some picks.
Yeah, let's play some picks, because by the time the next episode rolls out, will be post Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, who's your choice for this year's Super Bowl?
Oh, who's in it? It's the
That's
Chiefs.
the Bucks and the Chiefs.
Yeah. Chiefs.
Chiefs?
I know you want Tom Brady to win, but...
No, it's not so much I want Tom Brady to win, but I think it would just really add to his legacy.
I'm for the underdog.
I think Tom Brady is the underdog, actually.
Oh, really? This year he is?
Yeah, because the Bucks are the 5 seed. The Chiefs are the repeating
I'm gonna go
champ.
for the Chiefs.
Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites with a 56.5 over/under set on the game. What's your prediction? Who do you want to win, and what's your prediction?
I think that, like,
not always the same.
In terms of someone who appreciates a good sports story, I think it would be good for Pat Mahomes to, like, officially take the mantle by beating Brady in a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Because that's like Michael Jordan versus LeBron in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a decisive passing of the torch, or, like, keeping the torch kind of moment.
And he's a good example of a 3-sport athlete.
Yeah. It's a very, very easy to like kind of athlete.
I think Tom Brady did play 3 sports, though.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I think he was actually a pretty good baseball player. Not like Mahomes was.
Right.
Mahomes is just gifted.
Yeah. I think it's time for someone to take up Brady's mantle as like the football player.
I'm ready for that too.
Here's the thing, though. Everyone's making it such like a Brady Mahomes thing when like it's really a Bucks Mahomes thing. Like
Right.
the game is totally different when Patrick Mahomes is on the field. The Bucks are just, in my eyes, they're just more
complete.
well-rounded.
Yeah.
Like I think it's gonna come down to, will the Bucks be able to apply enough defensive pressure throughout the entire game? And I honestly think they can. Why? Because the Super Bowl is so commercialized. There's so many
There's so
breaks in
much
the
time.
game that like they're gonna be able to play fresh.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the defensive coordinator for the Bucks, Todd Bowles, likes to apply a lot of pressure. He likes to send his guys and blitz a lot. They're gonna be fucking fresh, especially coming off of an extra week of rest. So I think it's gonna come down to that. I almost feel like it's not gonna hit 57 points.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I was impressed with the Chiefs in their game against Buffalo. That was the first like full football game I've watched in a while, and just at a certain point it looked like they were just like schooling them.
yeah, they really turned around because they did not look good against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Even without the Mahomes injury, I didn't think they looked great against Cleveland. But no, I think Pat Mahomes is insane. I actually still think he's underappreciated to really how talented he really is,
Yeah.
and how great of a quarterback he is. He's definitely the best quarterback in the league, hands down. But it also goes to show you, like, you're telling me the missing piece for the Bucks was a quarterback. They were a quarterback away. Like, they had so many weapons anyway, and their defense is unreal. But like, let's also highlight the Tampa's offensive line. Like, they've been underappreciated in my eyes too. But yeah, it's gonna come down to the offensive line of the Chiefs too, because they did lose a big guy. They lost their left tackle to an Achilles tear
Right.
last week.
Yeah.
That sucks. So I don't know. Who am I picking? I mean, I do want the Chiefs to win.
Mm-hmm.
I want the Chiefs to win. I love how athletic their offense is. There's so much speed there.
Yeah.
Like, and all that speed comes from world-class sprinters. And that just brings things back to track. I think more people need to run track. They have guys that did really well in the 100 and 200, and it's no surprise that they have the fastest team in the league, right? But I wouldn't be upset if the Bucks won. It's not even so much Tom Brady. It's yeah. I hated Tom Brady. I'm still not a huge Tom Brady fan. I respect him. I just hate everything Boston and the Patriots. So
You still got that stink on him.
yeah, definitely. And he wears Uggs.
Yeah.
That's a big no-no for me. I think we've
I
covered
know,
that
and
already.
his dietary choices are kind of,
Yeah.
I don't give my kids cereal. That shit's poison.
I don't know. It's just,
Yeah. Uggs were the
so
were the
many
first
rules.
episode here.
Yeah.
We're bashing Uggs.
Oh, yeah. Still do. I'm very consistent
Yeah.
about it. We had an athlete in here sprain his ankle, and I blamed it on the Uggs. Now, I may not be correct about that, but I am willing to bet that the Uggs played a role in it. So,
Sure.
because they were on his feet when he did sprain his
and
ankle.
there's no support, and when you're so used to wearing shoes with so much support, and your feet and your ankles aren't working because they get so comfortable being cushy, your brain doesn't know what to do. Body doesn't know what
You
to
also
do.
get no support from me if you wear Uggs. I think that's most
No
important.
emotional.
Do you wear
support.
Uggs at home? I'm just, just
Yeah. Around the house.
don't expect much from. They're very comfortable. They are. But
So, yeah.
they don't do much for you.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go on the record by saying this. I'm picking the Chiefs, and they are going to hit the over. The game will hit the over.
Wow, that's a first.
But I will not be surprised if the Bucks pull it off. but I do think the Chiefs are gonna, because that in my eyes that's a greater story.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been a back-to-back Super Bowl champion forever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That'd be a good way for Mahomes to cement himself as well.
and secure Andy Reid's legacy, like
Yeah,
for
back
people
to
to
back.
finally treat him like a real genius that he is.
Yeah. Remains to be seen.
All right, so Super Bowl picks are in. Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Wow.
We got Chiefs across the board here.
Solid. Yeah.
So
Feeling good about it.
Yeah, note that. We'll get to cover that in the next episode, or 2 episodes from now, if we're right or wrong. This is next time we record. The Super Bowl will be the day after.
Yeah.
So
And you've been slow cooking like a beast, so we can make some nachos and
hell yeah.
maybe fajitas and stuff. Teddy's been on his grind, slow cook grind.
Very
Mhm.
nice.
What's it gonna be next?
Yeah.
Pork, chicken, beef? I don't know.
Hell yeah. I was thinking of making a beef stew one of these days. I'm in
Feeling
need for.
this is good. He's nice. Gives me a little bit of help here.
Yeah, I mean, you guys should just crown me already, even though it's the end of January
Oh,
in
boy.
fucking 2021. Husband of the year. Right here. Send it in. So, yeah, that's all I got for this week. How about you guys?
Do you feel like you ranted enough? Did you get it all
Probably.
out?
I think so, because I'm hungry now.
Because I wasn't trying to put a damper on your ranting. I saw a little bit of eye rolling there when I started to talk.
Well, it had nothing to do with you. It just
Oh.
got me thinking even more about the state
The
of
same.
the bullshit fitness test, which is also making me angrier and
I'm just so tired of hearing
hungrier.
about shin splints. All these shin splints and all these injuries.
yeah.
God.
Obviously, the coaches aren't as tired of
Or
hearing
we-
it as us because they keep doing it.
No. And you know what? The thing is they don't change anything. And what's even worse is that we send all these ladies and gentlemen off in such great shape, strong and lean and durable, and they're feeling awesome in their bodies, and they're feeling that they're ready to take on the world, and then they come back from school or they come back from whatever sport, even if it's before college, and all of a sudden they're a wreck, and I'm like, what the hell happened? Jesus.
College.
Yeah,
College
or
hockey.
just the sport or the school. I don't know. It's like you went from football to, I don't know, whatever, basketball, and it's like, what the hell happened? Or you went from basketball to lacrosse, and like, like that time, I don't know, what the hell happened? Like, you're supposed to stay healthy, not get hurt.
Should stay on their Overdrive app once they go away.
Some of them will be, thank God.
All right, so
So we're good.
that's it for this week's episode
That's
of
it.
Overdrive AF, coming to you hot from downtown Orangeburg.
Dropping it like it's hot.
Tune in next week for another episode, and we'll see you then.